Ako po si Jerry de los Santos.
At ako naman po si Danica Domingo. Welcome back to our college podcast. Dito aming tinatalakay ang ilan sa mga importanteng issue patungkol sa governance at development. Amin ding napag-uusapan ang ilan sa mga teorya at resulta ng aming mga ginagawang research.
And this is what we have done in our past episodes. We featured a number of our endeavors in research and extension. May mga episodes din kami with our very own faculty and researchers where the discussion centered on the theoretical framework and the research results.
Yes, that's right. Tama ka dyan, Ate Jerry. This time, however, we are straying a little bit from what we have been used to. This is because the College of Public Affairs and Development is about to celebrate its 25th founding anniversary in January 2023. And to start off our silver anniversary celebration, we are bringing you some of the most significant people that led CPAf to become an institution with distinctive excellence in governance, public affairs, and development.
At ito ang Patok, Usapang Public Affairs at Development. For this first episode of Patok CPAf Anniversary Series, we have invited none other than the first dean of our college, a witness of the ups and downs of CPAf when it was established in 1998. So let's welcome Dr. Liborio S. Cabanilla, or Dean Levy.
Thank
Good
you,
day, sir.
Jerry.
Hello po.
Hello. Hi.
Thank you very much for joining us despite the time difference. Po, ano? Opo, we believe
Yes.
that there is a 12-hour difference between
Yes.
where you are now and where we are now. But for our very first question, Doc Levy, could you tell us the story of how CPAf came to be?
Well, okay, maybe I have to start by saying that the role of the social sciences in within the university as well as in the national development effort is really very important. And at that time, the university officials that included none other than the president himself, President Emil Javier, and the Chancellor of UPLB, then Dr. Ruben Villarreal, thought of establishing within UPLB a unit that will lead the effort of UPLB in promoting the role of the social sciences in national development. And that is CPAf. By the name itself, it stands for a unit that will address public affairs. And that is a very broad area. But the effort of doing that, which is a broad area, is actually lumped into specific areas like agrarian reform, cooperatives, rural development, policy analysis, and local governance. And therefore, you have the institutes and centers that have been put together that represent these areas of concern. Kaya meron tayong IARDS, which, as you remember, is Institute of Agrarian and Urban Development Studies. Kasama rin dyan yung AXI for cooperatives. Kasama din dyan yung DAERS, which stand for Department of Agricultural Education and Rural Studies. Rural Studies ba yun? O Rural Sociology. And then yung CPDS, for policy analysis. So being a unit for promoting the role of social sciences, kailangang interdisciplinary siya, no? And therefore, when I was appointed as Dean of CPAf, I had always that principle in mind that since it's going to be interdisciplinary, ang unang ginawa ko, and I hope this is clear to everyone, I have to make sure that the other units in the university are aware of this role of CPAf. Kaya ang ginawa ko dyan, pinuntahan ko lahat yung mga different units ng UPLB. Inisa-isa ko yan. At sinabi ko sa kanila na from here on, meron na tayong kolehiyo na ang pangalan ay CPAf. And this unit is supposed to be the lead in harnessing the efforts of all disciplines in this university to promote agricultural, rural, and national development. Lahat yan, vet med, agriculture, engineering, and all the other important colleges and units. No? Kaya naman, and that's the most difficult part, trying to put together the different disciplines to work for national development. And then, the next major job was to put together, kasi itong CPAf, if you're not aware, pinagsama-sama lang itong mga mga iba't ibang mga institutes and centers into one college na hindi naman talaga dati magkakasama. So that actually in itself was a major problem for the dean. Kasi nga, new faces getting together, people who haven't worked together for all those times that they were in the university. Yun ang pinakamahirap na parte ng trabaho ng dean at that time. And I'm so happy that despite that challenge, we were able to take off, and in a manner of speaking, the plane took off the ground and flew at a level and speed that was good enough for it to sustain its mission.
Wow.
So yun actually ang isa sa pinakamahirap na parte doon sa first step, no? Kasi yung first year at saka first 3 years ng isang bagong institution, yung talagang pinakamahirap.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And then para ma-sustain nga yung role ng CPAf, I made sure that the college is linked up with institutions outside of UPLB. Ang isang major client natin dyan ay yung Department of Agriculture. Okay? Which is supposed to be the case, no? Kasi UPLB represents a university that is supposed to address agriculture and rural development. So, ang major partner and client natin dyan is the Department of Agriculture. And I'm proud to say that in the first year of my deanship, I was able to get a project worth 27 million.
Wow.
Ang pangalan ng project na yon ay PITAS, no?
Yes.
Policy Initiative for Technical Assistance Support for the Department of Agriculture. At ito is an embodiment of the thing that we call interdisciplinary work, no? Kasi to support the Department of Agriculture, hindi lang technology yung kailangan dyan, hindi lang agricultural technology yung kailangan dyan. Kailangan mo din yung expertise ng iba't ibang units ng UPLB. Kaya naman, nagamit ko yung pag-ikot ko sa mga, remember, I told you that one of the first things that I did as soon as I assumed the office of the dean was to go around. No, I have to
Yes.
talk to different deans, all the experts in the university na sinasabi ko na sa kanila na eto, meron ng kolehiyo na pagsasama-samahin kayo so that we'll be able to work together for the development of agriculture and the rural areas. Yun yung tinatawag nating interdisciplinary, di ba? So, yung pitas na 27 million pesos worth, eto na yung buklod-buklod ng mga different experts sa university para matulungan yung Department of Agriculture. Dito rin sa project na ito, nagkaroon ng only bagong kotse ng CPAf. Kung nandyan pa yung Nissan, yun ang pinakaunang kotse ng CPAf, no? Through that project. And then, to be able to link up also with the different units of the UP system, I worked closely with the UP CIDS, if you have heard about it, UP Center for Integrative and Development Studies. No, at that time, that center is supposed to be another integrative center. No, they provided us with an initial funding for publications. Kaya naman nagkaroon tayo ng mga series of books. One of them being the food security book that myself and Dr. Paunlagi edited. No, that's one of the first books that were published by the college at that time. No, pero UPCIDS ang nagpondo. And tama-tama naman kasi at that time doon nagsisimula yung yung issue ng food security. Yung food security na naririnig nyo na ngayon, refinements na ng food security na sinasimulan nung 1998 pa, no. Actually doon pa nagsimula yung yung mainit na bakbakan tungkol sa food security. And we were glad that we were able to come up with a book on food security. Nandiyan nasa library nyo yan. So, yun ang mga initial na initiatives namin at that time.
Nice.
So,
Sir, it was so nice to hear kung paano nagsimula yung CPAf and how
nga po.
here it is at the start pa lang from you, from the president then si Dr. Emil Q. Javier, the chancellor at that time si Dr. Villarreal, that the concerns of CPAf will be public affairs, local governance, and the interdisciplinarity of the different we can say programs or disciplines that should come into the foundation. And I can feel like it must have been a very challenging and difficult time for you at the start. Sir, now that we are about to celebrate the silver anniversary of CPAf in February, how do you feel about it?
well, I'm so glad. In fact, I'm proud that CPAf is where it is right now. Kasi kung masama yung naging lagay ng CPAf, wala na siya ngayon.
Tama naman po.
The fact that it is it's still there and performing its mission as expected is something to be proud of, no? And therefore everybody that is now connected with CPAf and those who are actively involved in issues that relate to the mission of CPAf should work harder for the college to be able to, achieve more and be able to contribute to the nation building of the Philippines. So I'm really very proud that it is where it is right now.
Yes, sir. And then, sir, you mentioned a while ago about the PITAS, one of the major initiatives that you first implemented during your term as the dean and during the first years of the establishment of CPAf po. So aside from this research and extension program, what were the other initiatives or efforts that CPAf started back then? So, for
Okay.
example, sir, in terms of academic offerings and...
Very standard naman. Kaya ko nabanggit yung mga projects na ganon kasi out of the ordinary yung mga yun eh. Yung
yes,
academic offerings, standard yan. We have to have programs that represent the discipline of the college, academic programs. At that time, naipanganak yung MPAF, no? Yung Master in Public Affairs, majoring in different areas of expertise. And these areas represented the expertise of each of the units that compose CPAf. No? I'm referring to local governance, cooperatives, community education, and policy studies. No? So, doon sa panahon na yon, pinanganak yung Master in Public Affairs. From where yung current PhD programs naman ng CPAf have graduated from. Diba? So, it's very good that we were able to establish those programs at marami ng marami ng nakinabang, not only personalities but also institutions who sent their employees and staff to study in CPAf because very relevant yung course offerings ng CPAf for national development, particularly advocacy of policy reforms. At yun ay gusto ko sanang i-tackle yun eh. Kasi now that CPAf has restructured itself from different, the college being composed of different units, ano na kayo, one
faculty, one college po na structure.
One faculty, one college na kayo. And that actually is a very good development and something that facilitates the interdisciplinary work among faculty and researchers. Ang isang ano ko lang, ang isang suggestion ko or one proposal is for the college to be in the forefront in terms of promoting ground level development. By that I mean yung tutukan pa ng gusto yung community development program. Kasi kung napapansin nyo, sa ngayon, sa panahon ng ngayon, masyadong high profile.
Yes.
Yung debate on policies. Hindi nyo ba napapansin ang binubugbog nila na mga issues yung rice tariffication, yung trade policy, although sinasabi nila food security yan, pero ang kanilang tinutukoy talaga yung policies ng government on
The national level.
trade at the national level. No? Ano na yun parang crowded na yung area na yan. I think for us to make a better name, mag-focus tayo doon sa ground level, yung community, because that's where there's such a small amount of effort that's being done. People talk about sustainability. Bugbog na yung salita na yan but the reason why we are not able to achieve that is communities are not really empowered. Communities continue to be highly dependent on government. No? So, pagka ganon, hindi talaga sustainable.
Yes.
If communities are not able to stand on their own,
right,
hindi talaga sustainable. People will continue hoping for more money from the national government to, for fertilizer subsidy, for yung moratorium for not paying their yearly responsibilities for yung kanilang yung pagbayad sa kanilang lupa, di ba? Yung agrarian reform beneficiaries.
Yes.
Ganon, no? So nagiging ko rito emotional ako kasi
Nafe-feel ko yung mo, sir, yung energy mo over here. About
So I think we need to refocus, no?
right.
I know that you're doing that now, but we have to do more kasi kung gusto natin talaga maging sustainable ang agricultural and rural development, we have to empower communities. And the World Bank has been supporting this kind of approach in South America. There's no reason why World Bank, if we see the need for that, will not support this kind of effort. In fact, I'm planning to meet with Secretary R.C. Balisacan pretty soon.
Wow.
As soon as I get back, gusto kong puntahan siya kasi it's probably through him that we'll be able to catch the attention of World Bank and the national government to promote rural and agricultural development. It's only through that we'll be able to achieve sustainable. Kasi nandun naman talaga yung problema nasa rural communities.
Yes.
Tama, sir. I agree with that. And ever since I started working for CPAf, I think communities are always there at CPAf sa mission po ng college. But I do agree that we need to do more for our communities.
Yes.
I think so. Otherwise, yung problema nandyan pa rin.
Tama, sir. CPAf is in the process of updating our research and extension framework.
If you need me, if you need my help, I'm willing to pitch in. Maski na
sir. Makakarating po sa mga kinauukulan.
Pro bono.
Very well noted, sir. And sir, I can actually feel that because I'm currently teaching one of our service courses on agrarian studies on the political economy of agrarian reform. And one of our references really pointed out, not really explicitly pointed out, but you can read from the work of James Quatzel, how important it is that we empower the local governments and the communities if we want to achieve a more sustainable change or a more sustainable development in the Philippines. Now,
At
sir,
saka baguhin natin din yung paradigm na bawasan natin ng konti yung bureaucratic approach, no? Baka kailangan let's work outside of the bureaucracy kasi pagka sa bureaucracy tayo, masyadong political yan eh.
political and very tawag doon parang restrictive din.
Exactly. So kailangan mag-imbento tayo ng bagong approach na we work a little outside the bureaucracy. In fact, kanina nga nung binabasa ko yung credentials ni Dean Bacungis, pala siya, advocate pala siya ng volunteerism, no? And I think that's something that we also have to promote, no?
Yes.
Ako, kasama na ako dyan, na magbo-voluntaryo ako dyan kung kailangan.
Alright. Sir, so yan, balikan natin, no, yung mga nangyari noong ikaw ay naging dean ng CPAf. Although madami ka na po na kwento na how you started, how you have to go around and talk to different units in UPLB. But what are the challenges that you remembered when you were already the dean of CPAf? Ito na si CPAf, buo na siya, isa na siyang kolehiyo. What were your challenges back then?
Kasi ang pinakamahirap talaga yung sa simula, yung mga tao, no? Kasi nga even before CPAf was established, marami ng anti. So even within CPAf, marami na yung ayaw, parang laging question mark. They were too happy with what they have been doing, and they did not feel the need to put these units together. So sa tingin ko yun ang pinakamahirap na parte, no? Yung inculcate sa minds ng mga tao na ito ay para sa ating kabutihang lahat, ay hindi para lang masatisfy yung pangarap ng presidente ng UP, ng chancellor ng UP Los Baños, pero ito ay para sa kabutihan ng lahat. And that was the more difficult part, I think. And since we were able to finish 3 years without seeing infighting and internal revolt, sa tingin ko naman, we were able to contain yung dissension. Dati nga kasama natin yung aksi, no? Pero tumiwalag ulit. Pumunta sa
bumalik po sa SEM.
So yung mga ganung problema. But aside from that, wala naman. Yun lang pinakamahirap na parte talaga, yung pinagsama-sama yung mga tao na ako minsan hindi magkakasundo. So as a leader and as the father of the college, trabaho ko yon na i-explain sa kanila at para sila ay maging komportable sa bawat isa. So sa tingin ko yon yung and usually that's the case naman. The first parang yun ang birth pains ng institution building nung pagsama-samahin.
Especially nga sir na different units po were put together in one college. There would really be parang kailangan pa po nilang mag-adapt po sa bago during that time.
Yun ang pinakamahirap na parte talaga.
Opo, I
during the
could imagine,
first
sir,
years.
what was happening during that time. Now, although the different units is under one college, they are still doing what they were used to do. So
Exactly.
it took some time po for
Uh,
you to gather everyone,
yeah.
to imbibe in them the interdisciplinarity of the college and
Maraming
all.
hindi nakaka-appreciate noon, pero ah, yun ang isang mahirap na parte doon sa
Opo. But
yung
ang
first
importante, sir, is na-push through naman po at ang CPAf po ngayon ay magta 25 years old na.
exactly.
So,
Kaya nga
opo.
I feel happy and very proud that despite the challenges in the first 3 years, you are where you are right now.
Opo. Sir, but during the first 3 years, despite all these challenges, and simula pa nga lang po, nag-uumpisa pa lang po, what do you think were the greatest achievements of the college during this first years of its establishment?
Well, para sa akin, personally, the fact that we were able to strengthen the bonding among the different units was in itself a victory. You know? The other one is we were able to link up with institutions. Kaya simulan ko kanina yung aking statement on the effort where we linked up with the Department of Agriculture, UPCIDS. And by the way, hindi lang yun ang ginawa namin pala. Umikot din kami sa Pilipinas. We went to different state universities and colleges to broadcast to everybody that from here on there is a unit called CPAf offering these different courses, offering these different programs na mapapakinabangan ninyo. Kaya kung napapansin nyo, marami tayong mga scholars, mga estudyante na galing sa iba't ibang state universities and colleges, pati LGUs. Kasi umikot kami talaga sa buong Pilipinas.
Opo. I think, sir, with that activity, first, umikot po kayo sa LGUs, SUCs. Hanggang ngayon, sir, the students of CPAf is ganun pa rin po. I mean, we have teachers, we have local government officials.
Yeah.
So, I see, sir, that it started pa way before nga.
Yeah.
Opo.
If hindi siguro hindi sinimula ni na Dr. ni na Levy noon yung pagpapakilala with
yeah.
Iba rin
iba yung dating ng ng magpapadala ka lang ng mga pamphlets
yes,
kasi pag umikot pumunta ka you gather the people together, interact with them, explain to them, iba yung dating.
Right.
So I made sure that we did that because I know that it's going to give beautiful returns in the future. And that's, I think we are seeing the benefits from those kinds of efforts right now.
Yes, sir.
We credit you for that and the people who stood beside you at that time. But sir, at this point na magto 25 years na si CPAf, how do you see CPAf maybe 5 years or 10 years from now?
Well, like I said, CPAf should retool or re-engineer itself in a way that it will be in the forefront of promoting rural, take note, rural agricultural development. Doon kulang Doon ang yung Pilipinas, kulang na kulang yung effort dyan. We have programs. So, tinitingnan ko yung mga course offerings nyo, merong rural development o community development. Pero hanggang ngayon, I could say, kulang na kulang tayo dyan. So, I will look up to CPAf to take up the cudgels and take the lead in undertaking efforts to promote rural agricultural development. Siguro dapat doon tayo mag-focus. Kasi kagaya ng sinabi ko kanina, yung national level, ano na yan crowded na yan high profile, therefore nag-attract siya ng mga bright minds to talk about it. Pero kaya kakaunti ang taong nandyan sa rural areas But that does not mean that it's not an important thing to do. In fact, all the more we have to focus our attention there because not so much work is being done along that line. So I suggest that more energies, more minds should be put into that area.
All right. Very well noted, sir.
Yes, sir. We young bloods will take note of that, sir.
Yeah.
Opo. We will
Yeah, so-
continue what you have started.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Opo. And sir, lastly for our question, what is your message for CPAf on its 25th anniversary?
Well, there's only one thing. Congratulations. Keep it up. Whatever you have done to promote national development, you deserve the praises. But since the problem is not solved yet, evidently, we should do more to contribute to the national effort of development. We have to be true to our mission of addressing public issues and be sincere in our responsibilities along that line. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you din, sir, for giving us the time, even if malaki yung time difference natin at this point. You have allowed us to interview you, and we learned a lot from you, especially during the
Yes,
time
sir.
na simula pa lang ang CPAf. And we will take it to
Opo.
heart as young researchers and faculty members.
Opo. And ayun nga po, sir, as we were talking with you, na-imbibe din po sa amin yung mga dapat po namin gawin as part of the college, especially po for our future din as an institution.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you
Congratulations.
very
sa inyo.
much, sir. Opo.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.